Hello there. So I must say that I am a little bit surprised to be doing a YouTube video. I've just been having a lot of stuff to process, I feel. And the dog sometimes gets hyper. And in fact, I think he's part of my purpose. Perhaps in ways I don't even realize, that they have purposes as well, aside from being our companions. But I was watching a few YouTube videos today, and it's just about noon here. And I can tell you what, the sunny, so there you go. Yeah, lovely little honey bunny. you know, I just feel this sense of kind of rejuvenation almost. Yeah, like I say, I didn't really think, I don't know what I thought. I didn't know, with some things going on in life, when I would next do a video. And it didn't take long, and I knew it wouldn't. And I get inspired fairly easily, whether it's with the title idea. Oh, the dog's feeling okay. He just took his chew stick, and I don't know where he put it, but he came back up to the couch quietly. He's got a bit of a look on his face today. Yeah, he doesn't like pulling that. Could be Lucifer. He's very good. He's blinking at me and everything, and he seemed fine this morning and the past few days and that. I think maybe he's just feeling a little melancholy too, and it's not that he doesn't get the exercise. I could stand to, I suppose, more. But basically, here, I'm getting some. I'm eating some. But it's not just about the impact that I bring to others, but that they bring to me. And so I do hope that somebody tunes in soon. I haven't been rolling that long, I suppose. But, and I don't know if the moving still does anything. But, anywho, I hope that the radio is not distracting. I hope you can tune it out and focus on what I'm saying, because I find that having that even light background noise is helpful. And it is French, which I don't understand. So it's that's really what it is background noise. And they're like, the person who was here for like a millisecond was like, well, I only speak French, so I comprehend. You speak no. I speak no English. Anyway, I'm not meaning to. And of course, there's lots of people that speak many languages, so that's cool too. And I wonder if that actually maybe has some relevance to the topic. Not so much the one that I put into the comment area that I'm calling the description, although that too, perhaps. More so the title, which was, how do you make, and this would be great, maybe not, how about now? Just kidding. And there was a reason pretty much to each part of it. I don't know, I'm just going to kind of go where my head's at, where it's been this morning, where it's going, and welcome you along on the journey, and welcome your thoughts to to come in and make a positive impact as well, because the world needs that. We all need that in it more in our lives. Some people do have it quite a bit. It's true, but I would say it's always a good thing. Um, so right now my hands are just feeling a little bit tight for doing that. Not that I've been doing that a lot, but um, Sonny, just a moment. Just a moment, please. Did you drop it in there? Is that what happened? There you are. I thought it was a little bit weird that he didn't seem to want the chew stick. He dropped it behind the couch cushion. And I do want to have lunch soon. But, sometimes I think it makes sense to say things in sequential order. In a way, perhaps it helps me kind of be organized with what I'm delivering. So, like I say, I had a few ideas for videos, but this is the one that's happening. So, that's happening for right now, anyway. And that's meant to be, perhaps. It does seem like YouTube is growing and adding. Basically, I'll say that I've become aware that even new channels don't necessarily need to have, what was it, 500 subscribers, and some people don't really want to have that many. I mean, it's not that they don't want them, but to do live content, and there is an interesting power to being able to do live videos, and one of those things is the engagement. Someone was briefly there. It was something I was kind of looking for this morning, and most of the live things I was finding were about news or probably politics, although I don't strongly remember. What I was looking for was something kind of small scale. Stop doing it already. Let's put it back there, but I don't think it did. Something kind of smaller, and it's not clear whether you can search by categories. If you can, there's filters. But anyway, So just before I think I found the first one, I was reminded of someone whose live stream I commented on. Back and forth, probably gonna say 5 or 6 months ago, maybe a little longer, and it was lovely. I mean, one thing that made it lovely, which is something that I'm always willing to do for the most part, is she was engaging with her comments, and we just had 2 people tune in, so welcome. And I don't remember if there was, and they both left. I don't remember if there was very many people on it. I don't want to sound whatchamacallit and say I only remember me, but I kind of do, and that was the case earlier today. Well, no, there was one other, but I just remembered how the enjoyable time I was having, and I'm a little bit confused because there are only 2 videos, and it's definitely shorter. And I know that she was going through some stuff as well. But I did find her fairly easily. And then, so whether it's somebody that makes time and space for you, whether it's someone that helps you out temporarily or ongoing, whether it's someone you can help and how good that feels, whether it's someone who gives you a smile. And I've heard that one before, and I've thought, well, but it's not enough to know what are you smiling about, like chapstick, and I mean, some people may say, does it matter as long as you're smiling? And I get that, I do understand that, but sometimes it's good to know, it's anywho. And I'm thinking of one particular person, although I've, had lots of smilers in my life. And in fact, actually, this person I'm thinking of I'm sure there was the occasional smile. It was more so eye contact. It was at a group I used to go to. He was a bit shy, and I wasn't. And I think it was a bit of I just don't know what the radio's playing and if that's a song and if YouTube's going to be mad about it. No, it was just an in-between thing. If it was a bit of kind of like, I wish I was that outgoing and that, I guess it'd be introverted, right? I confuse them sometimes, but yeah, no, introvert, I'm pretty sure. Thing is, we all have our moments where sometimes we will be and sometimes we won't be for whatever reason. But that doesn't mean that we can't make an impact. What I remember more so is eye contact, I think. The fact that I know, because part of it may have been because, we all want to be seen, myself included. And I noticed that he was seeing me. I'm pretty sure in positive ways. I hope. And basically, one thing I do. There is one thing that I sometimes bring into things, which I need to kind of watch what I'm doing with it, I think. And I don't want it to only benefit me, but I need to kind of, because I have my way with it, that I need to make sure that I'm always remembering and knowing that that is powerful enough, and that I'm the one in the lead, essentially. But yeah, no, I mean, now earlier I was talking about like, and I mean, I'm thinking of, I know he speaks a little bit of French, and I'm thinking of my brother a little bit, but I am thinking about someone that I've met. Honestly, what stood out the most is I often met him around food-related things, and he would often be talking about salt content and how it's bad, this and that. I remember him, but not a lot about him. I don't know if that's, I guess it's meant to be. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. But this topic keeps coming up. This topic keeps coming up as to who's been a positive impact in your life, or someone that you've never forgotten. And it's an interesting question. It can be a bit challenging potentially to think. We meet a lot of people in our lives, right? I mean, and I do and don't want to know the science as to why this is helpful, but it does make me think of a couple people. 3 actually. 2 have the same first name. The one, I'll just say, I don't know if I really want to be naming names. I don't know. Let me just say, Michelle, ADHD, Aaron, ST. And if that means something to you, then it's you I'm talking about. And I just feel like, and nobody's watching at the moment, but I just feel like, although you had some struggles and you had them, well in the workplace, I think you also did really well in that workplace. And I don't know where things are for you in your life right now. This is very interesting, sending out a message like this, just hoping it reaches that person. And if not, you know what? Again, as my friend Linda said, my heart's in the right place. And I just have to leave it to the universe. She'll either get this message when she's meant to, or maybe doesn't need it. But basically, yeah, it's kind of like, she always had a relaxing way about her, a sophisticated way about her, and she was pretty. So, I mean, um, but a lot of us are, as far, and then there's another one who I've been becoming very close with. I almost want to wait on that one in case she tunes in. She might be a little bit surprised that I'm doing this because, like I say, life stuff, and I kind of didn't think I would be. And I think about something I used to do a lot more of in my 20s. And I think that's when these things became popular. And sometimes you get a really good spin. I didn't even try very hard. After a little while, holding it in your fingers, at least for me, I'm a little sensitive about it. But it's cool to be able to stop it. It's like if things are spinning out of control and you don't want them to spin anymore, you can have one of these and stop the spinning. Maybe there's something to that, something mesmerizing and to it, and something about the way it feels in the hand. To be quite honest, I don't want to talk too much about this. I don't want to make this thing, have me having too many thoughts. I mean, I want it to be a soothing thing. But it's interesting. I got it just a couple of days ago, and it's surely you can get them online pretty easily. And I played with it a little bit last night. I'm playing with it now. I think I played with it a little bit first thing this morning, if I recall. And I'm talking about this thing. Pay attention as I mesmerize you. And there's actually kind of a few people kind of with a particular memory to this type of thing that I think of. And one of them I last saw at a funeral, and he is on a breathing machine. And I know he did something that kind of annoyed me once, but at the funeral, I felt seen. Hey, how are you? Oh my God, you. Not because I'm a YouTube sensation. I mean, if anybody's seeing this, I guess I would like to say that, I'm happy to know on YouTube that my content is reaching. And if you have something positive to say to me, sure. But I don't need to be a celebrity. Long before my YouTube days, actually, when I did videos on another platform, I was thinking about this recent story right now. And their last name was Starboy. And I was saying that that's what I went by. I said, no, that's not my name. But and I hope that his health is well. And if life takes him soon, I hope he has a great transition, a comfortable transition. Most people do, I think, no matter how they die. I would hope. And that, is he Ray and his other loved ones there? And yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I've only been rolling for 20 minutes, so not super duper long. And there's a part of me that thinks, well, if that's all I want to say, that's all I got to say, and nobody's here chiming in, then that's fine. And then there's another part of me that says, but wait, because maybe somebody will. And even if it's not, well, it's live, is there anything else I want to say about my morning, though? I mean, strangers can be that way too for us, right? Like, on YouTube. Like, I mean, because like I was watching. So what was the next one? What was it was a thing about autism. And she seemed like she might be a doctor. I liked her vibe. And then actually there was 4 in like under 2 hours. Uh, I think there was a few people chatting. I was one of them, and it says, and I know that she mentioned one thing that my comment said. I can also tell that she was reading through my comments, not looking hugely confused, but that she was looking at them. But some of it was kind of like rambling, like, "Oh, I'm just, taking in some lives today. I'm so happy I found this. I relate to the topic, blah blah." So, but um, and then I did mention the Book Campus, which I just want to make sure for anybody who happens upon that video, which I went about this morning because I thought, maybe it'd be a good idea too, and it already was, but um, there's health benefits to taking it too, and even if you're on meds, that's something that's came up for one, possibly two of my friends recently. That doesn't mean that you can't benefit from that kind of treatment. And you can ask me more about that if you'd like. But and then I watched one that we could say was kind of faith based, and it was an interview. So the first one was just one person talking. The second one, the other three were interviews. So they had an outline probably. They were focusing on each other, and I want to do more of those too. But anyway, I could tell that she was reading my comments, kind of summarizing them, sort of. And I can't remember details without watching back, but what was said was rather beautiful. What transpired afterwards for me was rather beautiful. And I'm not sure what will come from kind of that one going forward. And then there was one about MS. Again, my hope was that the comment section was going to be a bit more interactive with the person doing the videos, but I did have that realization, like this is like a interviewing one, like they have the live chat there, I guess, for people to, so that they can read it in case something really strongly jumps out, or so that people can interact with each other. I'm not sure. I mean, those are the only reasons I could think of for having a live chat there when you don't actually plan to engage with it. It can be distracting, but that can be okay. I mean, if it's positive, good, distraction and impact, then yeah. Anyway, I don't want to make this too much longer because truly there are some people who could benefit from it that may think, well, if I'm going to watch it, I want to watch it all at once, and if it's too long, they won't. Everybody's different, right? But then there was one. Okay, so there was the MS one. What was the last one? Oh, right. Okay. Somebody who was fairly prominent. I'd never heard of her, but she's done some big things. And it was mostly kind of my own comments, that I was happy that I was putting out there. And what was being said in the video was really nice. So, again, a little bit disappointing that but here's somebody. I just want to remind you that we all can have a positive impact on people. What was it I thought to myself before I started this? That some people may think, well, I don't know if I don't. And the viewer left. I'm trying to remember. I wish I would have said it. I wish I would have been rolling when I thought it. But something about I don't know if I can kind of take on that responsibility. Sure, you can. You already do in your life, probably. With the ones you love, you're already kind of having a positive impact on them. So, do that similarly. And most people do this, and, they don't have to be told. But some people maybe get stuck in that, where they're like, whether they're thinking they want to or not consciously, and they're like, and there's so many reasons to do it. There's so many reasons to do it. Whether it's connection that you need because something is lacking in your life, that's okay. Um, being able to do that online or in person can be very powerful. Whether it's been shown to you in the form of more of like a calling, like it's like this is what I'm meant to be doing, which I can relate to that as well. What do you think? There are other reasons why you either feel like you have to feel like you're meant to make a greater positive impact on people and are doing so, or how do you do so in your life? And if you're not doing so, I really urge you to ask yourself why. We have to think about ourselves first, and what's best for us. It's true, but um, we also we're all in this together. You know, whether we want to say as brothers and sisters, um, as people of the universe, we're all in this together. And if some people have been misleading or gotten the wrong impression of me, I hope you're starting to truly get a better impression of me. And we can always do better, and that includes anybody watching this. You know, um, jealousy can be a real thing, different other feelings. Um, just because someone seems like such a great, soft, caring person, it occurred to me that some people might actually be intimidated by that, which is not a concept I've thought of very much. But I'm not saying I'm better than you. And, you know, maybe in some ways you are better than other people. There's a lot of people. You're going to be ahead in life in certain areas that other people are still trying to get to that spot. But, and it's okay to have confidence. It's the difference between confidence and ego. But once you get there, like what did I say on that lady's video? I said, I sense that you are appreciative, of the things that you have, and there was another word I used as well, kind of similar to it, but are you proud? Because I didn't know her very well, but I said I think you should be, and I don't feel like it was me, and and I felt like maybe she didn't tell herself I should be proud of what I've achieved. So be proud of what you've gotten through. Be proud of um, the experiences that you've had that have shaped you, and the opportunity that you have to grow and create a future for yourself that you're proud of. I have sometimes been feeling lately in limbo, in stuck mode, in a rut. And so, yes, the desire is there to have interactions, meaningful interactions. It's not that I don't have them, in one way or another through my days. And there would be a point where I would feel like, okay, I've reached my capacity. And I thought we were in the 30-minute mark already. But, I mean, again, what life should be all about and what this channel is about is being positive impacts for each other. I mean, I saw something else interesting on YouTube today, and I don't know how to not monetize. And I'm being completely honest, I don't know how to not monetize the channel. But I saw someone, and I don't remember exactly how this works, but I saw somebody donate $100 to somebody, and it was this really calm lady, and she started it, and she was like, And I just instantly loved her vibe, and I could tell that, that she was, in her bliss, you could say, I guess, and that she was, a good energy, but she reacted with the heart to, and the person didn't have content on their channel, but it seemed like it may have been a bit of a new channel, and the description was interesting. And I hope I left it open because I don't remember if I subscribed to it. But anyway, basically, person, you know, who, maybe doesn't have, my brother yet, gave her $100. I'm not asking for that, but I'm not saying I wouldn't take it either. I wouldn't be happy for it. But all she did was put a heart to it, which isn't a negative thing. I understand. But if somebody, maybe she hasn't received it yet, so she's waiting to make sure it comes to her. Maybe she's still in shock. I don't know. I guess that makes kind of sense, because otherwise, like, you've seen this comment. Show a bit more thankfulness. Kind of what came to mind. But I will admit that, there is some really good content out there, and it's got limits. It's true. Not just my stuff. And I also will admit that it can be hard to find live streams. Like, it's amazing. Like, when you click the tab, like I say, I'm saying mostly news and sports and things that don't look like they're just your regular everyday. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but your regular everyday person sitting, live streaming, and want to make connection. But YouTube's a big thing, and I know that they're out there, wanting to, yeah. So it's yeah. But I think I truly have run out of things to say for now. It's kind of, I guess I would say, at this point, looking like a slow start back to things. Not that there's been a lot of chatty people on some of the videos, but there's been more activity along the top. And to be honest, again, I don't think it was entirely a bad thing, but it would sometimes distract me. And I just want to quickly draw attention to my shirt. Kindness. Kinness. Actually, as well. Loaning someone your strength instead of reminding them of their weakness. So if you see somebody who is struggling with their focus, or seems to be, sometimes I've been annoyed when sometimes someone will say, let's bring it back, like you're off topic. And in my mind, I'm thinking, no, I'm not. I know exactly. Sometimes I don't, but I know exactly how I got onto this topic, and I might circle back around. And actually, I have a recent example where someone almost did that. I don't remember a lot of details, but I remember who it was, and we were in a virtual meeting. But then they didn't, and I can't remember what transpired, but I'm sure it was great. But at the same time, not trying to make it harder, but yeah, and you'd be remembered for that. It's just to kind of finish things off. I keep thinking like I'm gonna, but then I keep not. You get to choose how you're remembered, and a lot of people are very good and natural with this. Others maybe need to work on it a little bit. But do you want to be remembered by your loved ones, by strangers? I would hope similarly either way, as someone who is kind, loving, funny, gentle, seeing the best in people and bringing that out, as well as within yourself? Or are you stuck in a pattern of simply reacting, of simply trying to kind of stir things up, And why? And do you really feel like you have to be that way? I don't know how specific that would sound, but again, this is starting to get long now, but I had the time to do it, so I figured I would. I mean, I think it was just a day or two that I didn't roll, but I'm getting another idea because I think I am naturally actually kind of a filmmaker. Even if it's just, simple YouTube videos. Like I don't have some skills yet, but although I'm not sure if I want to do the idea that I'm thinking of at the moment because it's about feeling proud. And I think that, sometimes that can be misinterpreted, misconstrued. It can be like, it's okay, like I say, to have confidence, and that might seem a little boastful. It's okay to, accept yourself and move towards the greater good. But when you are yeah, I'm curious your thoughts on that too. There's and I was gonna say there's a strong part of me that just wants to kind of. I've said a few things in this video. Obviously, I've been rolling for 36 minutes, and I'm kind of at a point where I'm not entirely sure what else I want to say. And I was going to try and bring it back around to what that person that just tuned in might want to say, but they didn't stay. They're like, I've got to go make a positive impact in the world. That's my thing. Or I've got to go make a positive impact in the world. I haven't done that enough. I just want to say one other thing, I think. Don't judge yourself. I totally understand sometimes the feeling, which may or may not surprise people, of not feeling like, you're enough, not feeling like you're doing enough. And the thing of the matter is that could be true. It could be accurate. But and I wish I could, it's all just a bit of a blur. I wish I could remember that other podcast I was watching earlier. The thing is, it's not that I don't watch other videos. I spend quite a bit of time watching videos, actually. There's a different feel, whether it is that you're engaging with the content and it's noticed or not, or I wasn't fully listening. There was one point in the one video where I wasn't going crazy in the comments, sending that much, but I did kind of hear in my head, like, shut up and listen. You might be adding value, but like, stop and listen. But I'd be damned if I can remember what I heard when I did. I think she was talking about, and she did much better at leading it up into it. But I do remember it was kind of like going and getting a nice beverage for yourself and enjoying that on a nice day. I do have a bit of money. It is a nice day. But I don't know. And this is the thing, having specific intents. And one thing I will say that I'm noticing that I'm doing a little different, it's not that I was always a mile a minute on the videos, but because of this and also just in general, I do feel, even though I'm still covering a lot, I do feel like I'm short. I'm slower, and I'm hesitant to say, but kind of calmer. and I'm al natural. Little bit of coffee this morning. What did I eat? English muffin with some stuff on it. Peanut butter on one, butter, and I forget what that herb is on the other. And I should have some lunch soon. But, you know, when it concerns Oreo, we are fairly well equipped right now, so I don't really think I need to go out and get anything. And I don't really need to. What I will do, but I'm not going to guarantee that to myself or the internet, to be quite honest. You know, like, I mean, you know, whether it makes any difference. You know, I mean, but I do think I've had some other worthwhile ideas. Just remembering there's a lot on YouTube. You know, there's a lot. And sometimes the smaller, well, algorithm, sometimes YouTube helps, sometimes it doesn't. So actually, being able to do them at the secondary option, which doesn't have any more subscribers, well, has less than this one, but doesn't have any more subscribers than it. I was looking at that recently, and used to have so many to go live. It looks like it will be able to, and so essentially that's basically what I'm saying, and that might be actually a very good thing because the algorithms might be more likely to show it as new, because actually I was on some newer channels today. That doesn't mean they're not, really good content, not really well, and everybody has different abilities and such and such. But and like you say, some of the people are probably very well established. But I mean, like this channel is not super new or has that small following. But again, it's kind of cool that the newer content is getting a bit more recognition. And there's just so much, that probably even the algorithms can't do what they want to do sometimes. But it all happens as it's supposed to, I guess. And yeah. I think maybe there's a bit of, there hasn't even been that many times that it said that there was somebody watching along the top. But I think, like I say, there are things that can be a distraction. And it's okay to be free-spirited sometimes, but, if I get myself to the point where, I don't know. But I think I am at the point where I'm going to wrap this one up. So, yeah. But then I would hate to do it just as somebody just tuned in. I was just going to wrap up. So what I'll do is say that, what does the title make you think of? What brought you to this video? Was it something you seen? Was it the title? You didn't say. You laughed. And I understand some people, they don't want to come to a video to answer questions. They want to come to a video to get some questions answered, perhaps, or they just want to come to a video to watch. And I don't know how I can, other than not doing it, which, well, I haven't done it much in this one because there hasn't been many times to do it. I don't know. I feel mixed about not doing it, but I don't know how I can be any better at saying, being welcoming and not seeming forceful. I don't think I do seem forceful. Anywho, that's something that we'll see how that unfolds. With respect, kindness, love, and care, I don't know why it looked like something shifted there. We're not at the minute mark yet, and hour mark yet. We're certainly at the minute mark many times. And I don't want it to get that long this time because I don't have that kind of energy right now. And I've said what I need to say in this video. So thanks for watching. And I hope to hear from you in the comments. Your thoughts on the video specifically. And to leave a positive impact and imprint. And what comes to mind when you think of that? Just to draw attention to the comments in the chat here that says, what do you, in the viewer left, but just in case it doesn't show later, what do you, I like that I put it there, and we could say, oh, if it doesn't show later for whatever reason, it was, then whatever, but what do you feel is your life's purpose, or what would you like it to be? And no, I don't, and then I kind of was saying that I don't feel any better. Well, and this is something that's evolved a little bit too, I suppose, or is evolving. I don't feel any better than anyone. No one is better than another. I mostly feel that. They're different than each other. But as soon as we can, more and more people can get it out of their head that they're better than, if they feel that they are, and instead see it as different than, and also see people, remind them of their strengths, see their strengths instead of their weakness, and ask what you can do to help. Don't have to be a professional. Anybody can help anybody and make a good difference in their life. So that's another thing. That's maybe a topic in itself. But okay, take care. And it's funny, it's 12:47 just now. Yeah, it was like a few seconds different from the timing of the video. Anyway, okay,